realize that. Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be good to, because I know that he was. Yes, obviously it wasn't.
There you go.
Everybody has a history on.
I was in women's college. We stood upstairs.
And it was like parents that were
And there was that flame and the girl in front of me like that. Luckily,
Carrie.
it was just the hairspray.
Lots of hairspray.
I don't know. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the North Brunswick Township Board of Education regular public meeting. Today is Wednesday, March 26th. Could we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Ali. Here. Mr. Carter.
Here.
Ms. Jane.
Here.
Ms. Keefe.
Here.
Mr. Lagori.
Here.
Dr. Patel.
Here.
Mr. Singh.
Here.
Ms. Toth.
Here.
And Mr. Wen.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law, the public notice of this meeting, which included the time, date, and location, was distributed by 3 p.m. on Tuesday, November 26, 2024, and Wednesday, November 27, 2024, in the following manner. Posted on the bulletin board reserved for announcements in the board office, 25 Linwood Place, North Brunswick. Mailed to the Home News Tribune, Star Ledger, NJ.com, and the clerk of the Township of North Brunswick, and delivered to the 9 duly elected board members. Good evening, everyone. It's great to see a full audience. This is one of my personal favorite meetings of the year. So it's great to see all of you, great to see representation from all of our schools. And at this point, I'll turn it over to Superintendent Chiroka to welcome our presentation.
Great. Thank you, Madam President, and welcome everybody. I love the energy in the room, and it's so wonderful to see everyone here and to be able to honor our educators of the year and our support persons of the year. So Mrs. Kita, our Assistant Superintendent, will be leading the slideshow. So I'm going to invite her to come up and we'll get the slideshow ready for you and start school by school.
Everyone, I'm Amy Keat. I'm the Assistant Superintendent here in North Brunswick. Again, as our board president, Ms. Toth said, and our superintendent, Mrs. Shiroka said, this is one of our favorite presentations that we do each year, recognizing our educators of the year from each school. And I think we're in year 4 or 5 of our own tradition of honoring our support people of the year from each building. So again, welcome to all of our award recipients this evening, family and friends, and our administration. So we will get started. I would like to, I always include, oops, in the New Jersey. Oh, I can verbatim say it while Mrs. Shiroka fixes that. The New Jersey Governor Educator of the Year Award is sponsored and organized by the New Jersey Department of Education. And every year in the fall, the principals have a committee that gets together. Mrs. Shiroka, you may want to stand by for a second. That'd be great, just in case. Oh, yes, I did see Jen. Principals send their nomination form to the entire school committee and form a diverse panel following program guidelines that are outlined by the state of New Jersey to select one educator of the year by the end of November. And this is, again, is the timeline that is set forth by the Department of Ed. They have until December 4th to upload the nomination form and register their school's Educator of the Year. And by December 11th of this past school year, principals notify their school's selected certificated candidate at a faculty meeting. And it is called the Educator of the Year because, again, it does not necessarily, may not be a teacher. Some years it could be our media specialist or a guidance counselor, so any certificated member of the staff. And then by mid-December, the New Jersey Department of Education will email all of those selected Educators of the Year and encourage them to apply for County Teacher of the Year. And for those that may not know, we actually did have a Middlesex County Teacher of the Year a few years ago from our high school. Mrs. Julie Mercier, English teacher, was actually the Middlesex County Teacher of the Year. So it's a great program. And several years ago, our NBTEA president, Beth Pasner, came to then Superintendent Dr. Zakowski and myself, incoming interim Superintendent Dr. Zakowski, and recommended us to also do our own program, honoring our support people in our buildings. It was such a great idea. We ran with the idea and took off with it, following the same parameters that we do for Educator of the Year. Unfortunately, our two recipients from the high school could not be here this evening, but I do want to recognize our Teacher of the Year from the high school, Social Studies teacher Meg Wright, she's also an alumni of North Brunswick, and also our Support Person of the Year, custodian, part of the custodial staff, Louise Salvatore. So we'll give them a round of applause. We look forward to honoring them again, as well as all of the recipients here today. We will be inviting you to a luncheon in early June as well. As we get started, we will be calling each of the recipients up, along with the school administrative team who's here tonight, to say a few words. We do have a special award also for you. And I would be remiss not to thank a few people before we really kick things off. One of my secretaries, Connie Saunders, helps me to organize this. We also have Mrs. Shiroka's executive assistant, Janine Krzyzewski, who did this beautiful presentation, worked with me on that. She did a great job. And also, who will be coming up here soon, Sandy Pedersen, Dr. Johnson's secretary. She does all the ordering of the awards, organizes that, designs them, and she's actually one of our recipients this evening. So thank you so much. At this time, I'd like to call up our middle school principal, Mr. Salover, as we honor our Educator Teacher of the Year, Megan Carroll, also an alumni, and our Support Person of the Year, Florine White.
I don't believe I see Miss White in the room tonight. So, that's too bad. Miss White is a very, very special person. She's a one-on-one aide in our building, has been for many, many years at the middle school level. And we were asked to contribute 3 terms to describe our winners this year. And the first term I had for Florine is compassionate, which if you've ever seen her in action, that just sums up who she is. She has the biggest heart in the world. I also use the term gracious because she's so giving of not just her time and her effort, but everything about it. She's a very, very generous person. But I also put tenacious because when the kids push a little bit, they usually wind up getting a whole lot of something they don't like, all right? She's tough stuff when she needs to be, and not just with the students that she is assigned to. She will extend herself to other students in the building on a daily basis, and she's really a part of the fabric of our school. The best thing I can say about Florine goes back to many years ago when I was teaching history down the hall. And she was the one-on-one aide for a young man who had muscular dystrophy. And as you can imagine, his needs went far beyond academic needs. And she was always right there at his elbow every day with whatever he needed. And that's when you really get to see the best of Florine day in and day out. And she's just a very special person, and we couldn't be happier to have Florine White as our winner this year for us. Megan, on the other hand, no. Sometimes things in your life go full circle, right? Many years ago when I was teaching in that same room, a hotshot quarterback walked into my room who became one of my favorite students, okay? And later was our quarterback at the high school, right? For those of you who know football, this young man ran the greatest play-action fake of any high school quarterback I have ever seen. Many years later, Megan, who is also an alumnus, comes to work at Linwood, and then, of course, at the middle school. And I will never forget her announcing to me that she's dating Billy Carroll, which is wonderful. You said that, I didn't. But I will also never forget the day she came to me to say, I'm going to be a Carroll, right? And that was a really special day, and now Billy's here with her little one in the back. And that's just a really, really neat hometown story. But Megan is so much more than that. This is a teacher, you know, she came in not just as a soccer coach at the high school, but also as a history teacher here at Linwood. And then when the state gave us a mandate that we needed to start teaching civics, Megan came to me to say, I want to be a civics teacher, right? And she grabbed that curriculum and ran with it, and has been so creative and come up with so many wonderful things in that program. You would think middle schoolers learning civics is like watching the grass grow, right? Not the way she teaches it, okay? She's also instrumental in our AVID program, which is a support program that encourages kids to really look towards college for their future. And she's involved in just about everything, all right? And I actually have 4 words for you. The ones I gave them were, first, energetic. When Megan's in the room, you know it, right? She just has a very positive energy that you can't ignore. Megan is very relatable. You would be hard-pressed to find a student who does not have a great rapport with Megan. That is the truth. She's also very clever. She finds ways to get things done, finds ways to fit things in where they shouldn't fit, and they do, right? And I added a word that my mother used to use all the time to describe certain people. She used the word refreshing, right? When Megan walks in the room gets lighter, right? And I don't know that there's a better compliment for anyone than that. I'm really proud of you. And besides being happy for you and wanting to congratulate you, having watched you grow as a teacher over the years and having remember you when you were a student at Linwood, it's really been a pleasure to watch. Meg, we're all thrilled for you. Congratulations on being our teacher of the year.
At this time, we'd like to honor our Teacher of the Year from Linwood, Mr. Isaiah Mason, and our Support Person of the Year, Ms. Lizette Corrales.
Thank you very much. It's always hard to follow Rick Slover because, again, I worked with Rick for many years. He just has a great way with words, even the way he writes. So this is going to be a tall task, but I'm going to try the best that I can. So these two awesome people work at Linwood. So Linwood School has just been a school for 5 years. Before that, we were the middle school. So I was glad to have this opportunity for the last couple of years to present for people. But first, I will talk about Lizette. So Lizette is our ESP Person of the Year. I'll give this story. I like to give stories because it really means a lot to me. So before I ever met Lizette, I worked with Lizette's dad, Ed Corrales. So he has been in our district for a long time. I've known this gentleman. He's just awesome. And it's just great. I have a great rapport with him. We always got along and just talked about everything. So I worked with him for several years. And then I got a chance to work with Jolene, the sister. So I was like, wow. She was also at Linwood Middle School. She was a great ELA teacher, great personality. It was just awesome to work with her. So we had a secretary who left and took another position. So then we had to find another secretary in that building. So when we're looking through the names, and we're like, the Corrales, that's interesting name. I know a couple Corraleses. So we interviewed and we talked and we found out who she was. And before I actually, worked with her, just knowing the family, I just knew she was gonna be an amazing, amazing person. So she is exactly that and more. So I just really enjoy working with this lady. The one thing I really try to do every day when I come to work is enjoy myself. I want to make sure that everyone feels special. I want to make sure that my students feel special. I want to make sure my staff feel special. So the one thing I can say when I come to work every day, we have an amazing time. We laugh so much in our office, which makes it pleasant to go to work. So I really, really enjoy this lady. She gets me, even though I could be your dad, I'm so old. But she gets me, and we work so well together. And I just really enjoy having you as my secretary. And you just do a phenomenal job, and we talk a lot. I'm a big texter, so every now and then I will mistakenly butt dial her. Or butt text her. So she'll respond back to me with a smiley face. But again, it's just a pleasure to work with you. And, we have a lot of just conversations about life in general, about what we're doing, and about your dog. And she is just an awesome person to work with. And again, she couldn't have been a better person to get this award. The one thing, though, I'll say is, she does such a great job. She looks at all my emails for me. She really does. So when everything kind of came out, she saw it already on my email. So I was like, Lizette. But again, she is just an awesome person. And again, I'm just so happy to have her as my secretary. And it couldn't have been a better person to get this award. And Lizette, I know you know how much you mean to me and also Linwood, because you really take care of us, and we thank you. Congratulations. All right, so Lizette doesn't want to say anything. But hold on, Lizette. Hold on. Don't gotta give you your flowers. And say thank you. All right. So this young man here. So what's interesting is being at Linwood, this is my 22nd or 21st year. I've always heard Isaiah Mason's name. Unfortunately, I did not have an opportunity to have Isaiah in the building with me because he came to North Brunswick when he was at the high school. But I've always heard just amazing things. Isaiah Mason, Isaiah Mason, Isaiah Mason, Isaiah Mason. So I was just overjoyed when I got the information that things would be moving, teachers would be moving, and I would get Isaiah Mason in my. I got to tell you, everything they said about this man is absolutely true. Yes, it is. The kids just adore this man. Last year, towards the end of our performances, getting ready for a concert, the kids came to me and said, Mr. Shorter, Mr. Mason's birthday is coming up. We want to definitely get him a cake. We want to do this. So I'm like, fine. So we had a little practice. Well, people said, you know what, when could we do it? I'm like, you know what, let's just do it during the practice. So we had the practice, and then they came out, and they just said, surprise. So he was overjoyed. The kids just love this man. It's awesome that he's able to touch so many students because he's a leader of our music department. He's phenomenal. He's kind of the leader, somewhat leader of the department. I can always lean on him. I can always just text him and ask him a question. He feels comfortable with me where he kind of comes into my office and we're able to talk. So I have just really, really, really been just overjoyed having this gentleman in my office and having him in my building to talk to on a lot of occasions. The toughest thing is that he has his administrative degree now. So I was kind of talking to him the other day. I was saying to him, Isaiah, you should probably just wait another year. I was being a little selfish, but I was like, Isaiah, you should just wait just another year. But again, he is phenomenal, and I know that wherever he goes, he will be a tremendous leader because he's done it every single day in our building. And as I said, our kids love him. And again, I can't even say enough words how happy I am. I know your team loves you too. So please say a couple words.
One of us bowed out, so now I'll do it for the team. Okay. So I'm actually I'm at military training this week, so I'm not in school. So on the drive up from Post, I was like, what am I gonna say, just in case I was prepared for this moment. I was prepared. Also, side note, I was fanning myself. They're like, you're hot. I was like, anybody else hot? They're like, no, you're nervous. I said, I'm not nervous. Now I know why I was fanning myself. I'm a little hot now. I'm just really humbled. I'll just start there. Like he said, the kids are what it's about, as we all know. And people used to say, I'm the music teacher. Like, oh, you love music, you love music. And I'm saying, no, my response is, music is the gift that God gave me, but education is what I'm passionate about. So to be able to work with so many students and teach them and learn with them has been a real privilege. And my mom's here and my stepdad, but one thing I always say, they're proud, right? The way that she raised me was with a lot of consistency, high expectations, and a whole lot of love. So that's what I'm trying to do in my classroom too. So as the music person, it's nice to know, they see me for more than that, as this is what it's about. I'm just teaching the kids through music. And that's what this, is really humbling to receive this award, and I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for my friends and family that showed up, and a great administration to support me and everything. All I got.
This time, we'd like to welcome up the administrative team from John Adams to recognize our Teacher of the Year, Jessica Drury, and our ESP of the Year, Vivian Luna.
This is our Teacher of the Year, Jessica. I'm Ann Kingsley. I'm the principal of John Adams. This is Carly Cummings. She's the director, and this is Lisa Rudolph. She's our dean. But before, Jessica, I'm sorry, before I speak about you, even though I love you, I do want to mention that Mrs. Luna, our support person of the year, is unfortunately on bereavement leave and is not here. So I just want to say a few words about her. She's been a library clerk for many years, and she's really good at checking out books and reshelving books, and she can check the computer to see if there's a book that somebody wants to borrow. She's really good at her job, but that's not why she won this award. She won this award because she is kind to the students. It's a big thing for me, yes, academics are exceptionally important, but if you don't teach with kindness, it doesn't mean anything. And she's very kind. The kids love her. She knows all their names, and she takes a real interest in all of them. When she walks in the hallway, I hear students calling her name because they are so excited to see her. She goes the extra mile to help students, and staff too. Her dedication and hard work make our building a better place for everyone. She consistently provides outstanding support and always strives to make a positive impact on our school community. Her dedication and hard work are truly inspiring. Mrs. Luna is a generous and friendly person. She starts each day with a big smile. She's always available to help and find solutions to small and big issues. So it is my honor to congratulate Vivian Luna, even though she's not here, as the education. Now I'm going to talk about my friend Jessica. Now, Jessica I have known for many years. I think it's starting to get close to 20. It's not quite, and I don't know her only as an educator because I'm going to now embarrass Aiden Drury, who's sitting back there. Hi, Aiden. He's a man. He wasn't a man when I first met him, and you'll find why. I started at John Adams. I worked at Linwood first, and I started at John Adams a few years later. And Jessica had just left on maternity leave to have that man sitting back there. And then a few years later, she had another son, and then Aiden started kindergarten at John Adams. And my job as a teacher at the time was to stand at the door. I know you've heard this story a million times, and I'm gonna say it again. To stand at the door as the cars pulled up. And every morning, I didn't really know her that well, but every morning I would watch Aiden get out of the car seat on the farther side of the thing and pass Connor, whose legs would go ba-boom, ba-boom, as Aiden walked past him. and then he'd give him a kiss, and he'd walk into school. And that's how I first met Jessica Jory, right? She also then became a PTA, it was PTA back then, it's PTO now, but she was a PTA mom. She was kind of in charge of all the assemblies. She worked very hard, and finally she decided she could return to teaching, and we were so happy to have her back. It was a thrill. I just want to tell you a few things that her colleagues have said, because we don't pick these awards. It's the colleagues pick the awards, and these are some of the things they said about her. She's a 4th grade level leader, and she has advocated for the grade level students as well as all the students in the school. She is trustworthy and caring and intelligent. Mrs. Drury is always looking for ways to engage her students and meet their needs. She has been integrating social and emotional learning, and anybody that's anywhere near a school knows how very important that is these days, but she was doing it at her morning meeting for years. Nobody had to tell her how important that is, because she has always had the total well-being of her students in mind. She does whatever she needs to help and guide them. She goes above and beyond to help her students, her grade level, and our school, John Adams. Mrs. Drury has an amazing rapport with her students, their families, and the staff. She volunteers still for many PTO activities. Now she's not, well, I'm going to get to it. She kind of did plan something, but she shows up at things, and the kids love seeing her. But most recently, she helped plan our very first international night that was just a week and a half ago, which she also attended. And I have to just tell you, it was an amazing night, and it was all because of her and the other teachers on the committee. One teacher told me that Jessica is one of the best teachers, I'm going to cry a little bit, that John Adams has ever seen, and I have to tell you that I agree. She is just truly amazing. So there is no one more deserving than Jessica Drury to be the Governor Educator of the Year for John Adams. Congratulations. I've been explicitly told that Jessica would prefer not to say anything.
Thank you so much. Jessica's also an alumni, and side note, things, as Mr. Silver said earlier, come full circle. Jessica and I not only graduated from here, we also are sorority sisters together. So I remember one time coming into John Adams Senior, and I was like, oh my God. So anyway, it's, I hope everyone also takes away from this night, which we always do, some of these full circle stories of our amazing staff that just are so grounded and rooted here in North Brunswick. But without further ado, I'd like to call up the administrative team from Judd. It went very fast. There we go. Teacher of the Year, Fran Alvarez, and our support person of the year, Maria Romano.
Good evening, everyone. I love a good story. However, I am not a storyteller, so we're going to have a little. Hopefully, I can capture what the essence of these two wonderful people. First, I want to talk about Marie Roman. It is with great pride that I recognize our educational support professional. And that Marie is it for this year. My first really full year as a principal, I'm proud that these two are the recipients. She truly embodies the heart and soul of Judd School. Her positivity is infectious. Each day she greets everyone, students, staff alike, with a warm smile, making students and staff feel welcomed. So it's great to come into the building, and whenever I see her, no matter what kind of day I'm having, she kind of brightens my day. In the classroom, she's an essential partner. She's a one-on-one aide, or classroom aide for our CG population. That is a full day from the time she walks in the door to the time she leaves. There's this action going on, and she's very compassionate. You would think that those are her own children, which is what we want, everyone would want. Whether working one-on-one with students or assisting in the classroom, she approaches her work with patience and care. She's not just a hard worker, she's an advocate for her students, always ensuring that they feel supported. She extends her willingness to help any colleague at any time, offering assistance whenever needed. Her unwavering commitment and nurturing spirit create a loving environment, and everyone can thrive in that kind of environment. Please join me in congratulating Marie Roman as our Education Support Professional of the Year. Next, similar to the last, like Fran, I met Fran. She was a PTO parent, hardworking, raising a lot of money for us. Hardworking is key, though. And so I was really honored to be on the committee with our principal, Barbara Gibbons, hiring Fran as a teacher. So I've been here and I've seen her grow in her craft, but I'm so honored to recognize her as Teacher of the Year. She embodies the essence, really, of an exceptional educator. She consistently puts students first, ensuring that their needs are met. She guides them and their parents, through whatever is needed. Her organization, English and Spanish, yes. Her organization and reliability create a stable and supportive environment for everyone around her. We had a growing Spanish population, and we needed a bilingual teacher, and we could not find a bilingual teacher. We tried, we kept posting. So I asked Fran if she would go back and get certified, and this is who she is. She went back to school and got certified. She's selfless. She's always ready to lend a hand. She's always the first one at school. She provides a calm and a kindness, even in challenging moments. She served as a mentor to many teachers as well, building strong relationships with parents and encouraging involvement with their children is also a strong suit for her. We've used her over the years to translate. We continue to. She's never does she complain. She's just always wanting to do whatever it takes. The impact she has on her students is profound. They often return to her and come visit, looking for her to seek her out after they moved on to high school and beyond. It is my privilege to present this award to Fran. Her dedication and passion inspire us all to be better educators.
Park, sorry about the mic. Our principal, Mr. Dawson, as well as our ESP of the Year, Sharon Demarest, and Teacher of the Year, also an alumni, Denise Torres.
Hey, good evening and congratulations to everybody. It's my pleasure to tell you about two amazing people we have at Livingston Park. So we'll start with Sharon Demarest. Sharon is a paraprofessional in our multiple disabilities program. And our paras in all of our schools are really the pulse of the school. They do so many things. They are so incredibly multi-talented at what they do. And Sharon really epitomizes that. She is hardworking. She believes in our kids. She is reliable. She is endlessly caring. And she will do anything above and beyond. In fact, this year we had an unexpected vacancy in our program. And Sharon has led the class the entire year. She has stepped up to the plate And one of the things Mrs. Kingsley said really reminds me of Sharon as well. Oftentimes when you talk to Sharon, she uses two words that I love: our kids. To Sharon, all of her kids are her kids. She's the teacher who's gonna bring them a little extra food because she knows she needs it. She's gonna look out for them. She's gonna take care of them, and she'll give them what they need. The students in her program, they need different levels of support. And the CG program basically runs on small intervals of instruction. So you're planning instruction 5 to 10 minutes at a time. And that's really, a talented person can do that, but a really talented person can do that for a 7-hour school day. And Sharon makes it look easy, but it's not. And we are beyond honored that she's part of our staff. We're so proud of her. We're really hoping she considers alternate route teaching. Hints? And we are really, really happy to celebrate you today. So thank you, Sharon, for being amazing as a teacher. I'd also like to introduce you to Denise Torres. Denise Torres is also a North Brunswick alumni. And she is such an important part of Livingston Park School. Like many of our schools, we have a very large population of kids who speak another language, our multilingual learners. We love them. We've got almost 90 at LP. So it's a really big part of our population. And to better serve those students, a number of years ago, we started a dual language program. So nuts and bolts of that is half of Denise's class are kids who speak English at home. She's helping them learn Spanish as a second language. The other half of Denise's class are kids who speak Spanish at home. She's helping them master English. Every student that she serves is a multilingual learner in some capacity. And when you watch Denise teach, you watch magic happen. It's interactive. There's music, there's movement. When I come down the hallway at 3 o'clock for bus duty, there's a lot of little fiesta going on. There's a little, vamos bailando. Kids are having fun. They love her. Denise is an advocate for her kids. She can reach them in so many ways instructionally, but she can also connect with them on a personal level. I love watching 4th grade kids, 3rd grade kids sneak down the hallway like Mr. Dawson's not going to see them. And they're peeking in and they're saying hello to Miss Torres because she means something to them. She's the reason that kids come to school because they feel supported, they feel loved, they feel cared about. There's someone like them cheering them on. She's also the epitome of a wonderful colleague. Denise works in partnership with an English World teacher, and they model for staff what professional interaction should look like. Focused on kids, purposeful, meaningful. Denise goes above and beyond. She's writing curriculum. She is coming to work early to work morning programs. She's staying late. She's our technology ambassador. If you name it, she can do it. So for those reasons and about 8 million more, we are very happy to recognize and celebrate Denise Torres. Congratulations.
I just want to say that I'm very grateful for this award, and like we mentioned, full circle, some of my best teachers are in this room now. Thank you.
still have one after this. But, oh, no, we still have two. Sorry. Oh, my gosh. Parsons, our administrative team from Parsons, and our award recipients, our Teacher of the Year, Kathy Reynolds, and our ESP of the Year, Julia Cooper.
Good evening. I'm Diana Whalen, the principal of Parsons School. It's a pleasure to be here tonight, and congratulations to all of our award recipients. Very, very duly awarded. That definitely deserve those honors from what we're hearing about you. I'm going to start with Julia Cooper. It's an absolute honor to recognize Julia as our Educational Support Professional of the Year at Parsons School. Julia serves as a paraprofessional in our preschool program. She's a truly helpful, patient, and inclusive member of our Parsons Elementary family. As a paraprofessional, she brings warmth, dedication, and a nurturing spirit to our youngest learners every single day. Whether offering a comforting hand, guiding a child through a new challenge, or supporting her colleagues with unwavering kindness, she is always willing to lend a hand wherever it's needed. Her ability to create a welcoming and inclusive environment ensures that every child feels valued and supported. And it's no surprise that the children absolutely adore her. Today, we celebrate her hard work, her heart, and the incredible impact she makes on our school community. Congratulations, Julia. It is with great pride and admiration that we recognize Kathy Reynolds as our Governor's Educator of the Year. Kathy serves as a special education self-contained teacher in our LLD program. Her passion for education and her unwavering dedication to her students make her a true advocate for those who are in need of a voice. She has an exceptional ability to inspire students of all backgrounds and all abilities, ensuring that each one feels motivated and empowered to learn. Her remarkable dedication goes far beyond the classroom as she creates a welcoming and inclusive environment where every student in the building feels valued and supported, whether they're in her classroom or not. Kathy tailors her teaching methods to meet the diverse needs of her students and demonstrating a deep commitment to their success and well-being. Any day you walk into Kathy's classroom, it's a different lesson for every child in that room. It's amazing. Take a look at her lesson plans, talk about differentiation. They go pages and pages on end because she makes sure that every single student gets the individual instruction that they need. Behind her impact on students, Kathy has earned the respect and admiration of parents, administrators, and colleagues alike. She's a trusted voice in our school community, known for her willingness to help, her approachable nature, and her ability to offer sound advice, even if you don't want to hear it. She's always right, though. Kathy's proactive engagement with families ensures that students receive the best possible support, both at home and at school, strengthening the vital connection between education and our community. A lifelong learner herself, she collaborates with teachers and support staff throughout the district to continue growing and refining her practice. Kathy's dedication, innovation, and unwavering commitment have left an indelible mark on our school, and we are incredibly grateful to have her as part of our Parsons Elementary family. Congratulations, Kathy. Would either of you like to say a few words? No, good.
now we'd like to call up our administrators from our Early Childhood Center to recognize our Teacher of the Year, Sheena Chen, and our ESP of the Year, Zainab Razan.
Such a great night. I just feel the energy, and I just want to say every year, just like I think Mrs. Keita said to start, we should feel so special working in a district that really values the amazing things our staff is doing each and every day. So I just want to, this is an exciting night. I'm so happy to be here honoring two such incredible staff members. I do want to say thanks to the board, Ed, Janet, Amy, all those people who have been honored tonight, all those students, that are here supporting their teachers, all the staff and the families, and it's just exciting. But I wanted to start and say, with us being in preschool, it's so exciting to see all the amazing opportunities that our students have in their futures, the amazing teachers they'll have, the amazing experiences and opportunities. And it's such an amazing aspect to see from the start that we have students who are 3, 4, and 5 years old who are just developing and growing, and it's just very exciting. So, I have in the past left my notebook up there before, so this year I put it on my phone. So we are so fortunate, I'm gonna start with Mrs. Rosani. We're so fortunate to honor her tonight. She is amazing, and we've been so fortunate to have her at the ECC supporting our youngest learners. One of the things, as I pull up my notes, just like other staff members had said, this award is about our staff and our community and our families. And I'd like to take what they say and share. And what's always said about Mrs. Rosani, always, is how kind she is, her caring nature, how dedicated she is not only to the students and staff and families, but always looking to go above and beyond at our school. Other things, she's dedicated, supportive, and always a team player. No matter what, she's always up for new challenges and for supporting students, and we are so proud of her. Congratulations, Mrs. Rosani. Now, I'm so happy, and just like Mr. Shorter, sadly, Mrs. Chen's gonna have to hear a little story time too. And I can say how fortunate I am when I first met Mrs. Chen all the way back in May of 2014 in Parsons Elementary School. Right next door to me was Mrs. Shuli's classroom, and the support from Miss Reynolds and Mrs. Lewis and all those amazing teachers at Parsons. So I was so fortunate because she was a colleague. I came back from a long-term leave for having my second child. Mrs. Chen was right next door welcoming me back to this building and being just so supportive. And I was so fortunate. And then she went to second grade and I left Parsons, and then all of a sudden we both ended up back in ECC together in September of 2019. And I was so fortunate to have someone who I knew that always put children first, just like all of our staff, but someone who I had collaborated with, who I had seen the dedication and all that she puts forth. And it was so amazing. And then watching her just building capacity, learning, growing, helping support preschool students aged 3, 4, and 5, coming from upper elementary and primary grades. And it was just amazing to see her growth and her development. But what does the staff say about Mrs. Chen? She's innovative, she's dedicated, she's patient, she is a team player. She's caring, she's kind. This one, she is inclusive. And having that inclusive ability is so important. Sheena's empathetic, she's dependable, she's reflective. She's also a building leader. She helps to be part of our Read Across America committee every year, and she collaborates with different staff members on different things, always trying continuous improvement to help us grow as a program, as a building, and as a district. I could not be more honored tonight to honor Mrs. Sheena Chen as the Teacher of the Year at the ECC. Congratulations. Can we take a picture, everybody? We'll slide over there. Where do you want? taking a selfie. Thanks, everyone.
This time, I'd like to welcome our Director of Curriculum Instruction and Technology, Dr. Johnson, to honor our board office ESP of the Year, Sandy Pedersen.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Board, President, Superintendent Shiroka. Congratulations to all the award recipients and well-deserved. I get the honor and privilege to recognize Sandy Pedersen. She is right arm, left arm in the curriculum department, as well as the grant office across the hall. Even helps the people in personnel. Ms. Keita knows that too. And not to mention the BA's office and payroll and clerk. So for Sandy, this isn't something that she enjoys, is the spotlight. So Mike Toro, you out there, we can put the spotlight right. It's the one night we can probably get away with it. So my story is pretty short because this is my 4th year working with Sandy. And I remember coming to the curriculum department at the board office, and you know, it's kind of a feeling out process. You know, you got a new boss, you really don't know anything. You heard about them, but you really don't know how to work with them. And I remember she did a head count. So I'm like number 6. So she's been around a long time. She's seen a lot of people come to the curriculum office as well. And she actually told me by the end of the first year, you're a good egg. She told me. She told me I was all right. She told me I was all right. But the thing about Sandy is that coming to work is fun and enjoyable. I will tell you, colleagues, and even I think that you are very persistent. Persistent when it comes to a work task or what needs to be done. So whatever it is, it might seem like it's a challenge. I might say a couple things about it. Before I know, she's already taken the initiative. She's figured out who to reach and contact, whether it's in the business office, the personnel office, or any office that needs. I actually don't need a microphone. So knowing, you know, we thank you for that. She's also extremely dependable when it comes to anything. If you ask her, she never says no. She always says, okay, give me a moment. And she'll come back with an answer or a solution or something that can help you. Many of our colleagues come into the curriculum office, so sometimes I wonder if it was coffee time and I didn't get the invite, honestly. And I don't drink coffee, but I will have a cup of tea at the same time. But I noticed that they come from different departments, even from the tech department, and she's giving them advice, sage advice, because Sandy's worked in a number of different departments. So one thing about you, you're always willing to share your knowledge, and that we're so grateful for, because it allows us to get through what we need to accomplish. And she's very patient, believe it or not, because sometimes phone calls are tricky, extremely tricky phone calls. You have to be patient, and she takes it with grace, smile, and I did prank her one time on a phone call, because I did a phone call check. Haven't been an administrator long enough, sometimes you kind of want to test how the person responds on the phone. And she goes, you can't get me today. But first she thought I was joking, and I said, I've really done it. I said, ask anyone, they will tell you I've done it. But she's one who's always extremely professional. I know when I talk to parents who I finally end up returning a call, I will get comments that tell me that woman who answered the phone was so extremely helpful, patient with me, and she got the person she needed to get to, so we're very thankful for that. But I will tell you that you make it easy to come to work, honestly. You really do. It's just one of those things that's easy to do, and I know that whatever we need to accomplish, we're able to get it done together. As much as I am her direct supervisor, she's like my colleague in the trenches, right? You know, whatever it is, she's like, you let me know whatever you need, and sometimes she anticipates what it is I might need. So that I'm extremely thankful for, me as well as other people. So on behalf of members of the board office, we are more than grateful to recognize you this year, and you being the reward recipient, because it's well deserved. I already know, she already told me no microphone.
I'd like to thank you again, all of you, and congratulations to all our award recipients this evening. Again, as everyone can see, and I'm sure as the board can see and recognize, the amazing, talented staff that we have in our buildings working with our students every day. Could not be more proud of all of you. And if anybody has any other comments they'd like to share.
You know, again, this is just an amazing night. Thank you, Mrs. Kita, and thank you, principals, for coming and speaking about the wonderful characteristics and features of your educational support professionals and your teachers. You know, we're all teachers at heart here, and just are so grateful that we have such wonderful, caring staff members here who take care of our children. So thank you all.
Thank you again, and like I had said at the beginning of the presentation, this is, as a board, one of our favorite nights to recognize the great staff that we have. And just on a personal note, my mom was a teacher in a neighboring district, and she won Governor's Educator in 2005. And I was a 5th grader at the time at John Adams. And, and I don't think at the time I truly realized what a big deal it was. And I'm sitting here tonight and I'm looking at all of the family members as the speeches are going on, and I see the pride. And you, as family and friends that are in the room, should be so proud of your family members that were up here tonight. We are grateful for them. Thank you for them. Thank you for the time that you all provide to us. We're very, very lucky. So thank you all for being here tonight. Anyone else from the board? All right, at this time, we will continue the remainder of our meeting.
Hi, thank you. Amazing, yeah. I love it. Yeah. Thank you. You have a second? Times 2.
You may want to let people know that continue.
All right, everyone. We're going to continue the remainder of our meeting. So we just ask that you take your celebrations out to the hall. All right, at this time, we will continue with item number 6, our meeting minutes. Ms. Keefe, would you please take item 6?
Yes, Madam President. I would like to make a motion to approve the following board minutes. Board retreat minutes, February 5th, 2025. Executive minutes, February 5th, 2025. Executive meeting minutes, February 26th, 2025. Regular public meeting minutes, February 26th, 2025. And budget workshop minutes, March 12th, 2025.
Can we have a second? Oh, thank you, Mr. Wen.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? All the report or the minutes are accepted.
Thank you. Are there any communications this evening?
There are not. I just have my administrative report, Madam
Great.
President.
We will jump to item 8 then, administrative report.
Thank you. Good evening to all our families, guests, and viewers here tonight. I am thrilled to announce that we did receive final certification today of the March 11th referendum vote, confirming the strong yes vote on both questions for our community. We again thank our Board of Education, parents, staff, NBTEA members, and community for supporting this vital infrastructure work. Our offices have begun the process of planning for the bond sale and planning for how projects will occur at each school. Once again, our great appreciation to all of those who supported us through this process. Thank you to all parents and families who participated in our parent-teacher conferences last week. Parent involvement in a child's education is so important, and we love being able to have our parents and families come in to discuss and jointly support and be partners in their students' learning. Schools will have an early closing this coming Friday, March 29th, due to a staff professional learning day that was rescheduled due to a delayed opening for inclement weather. Please also note the schools will be closed on Monday, March 31st, in recognition of the Muslim holiday Eid al-Fitr. Spring break will begin with a half day on Friday, April 11th, and school will reopen on Tuesday, April 22nd. Finally, due to a mild winter, we are able to motion an update to our school calendar to return the 3 emergency closing days. You will see this reflected on tonight's agenda. Schools will be closed on Tuesday, May 27th, an extension of the Memorial Day weekend, Tuesday, June 10th, which is primary election day, and we prefer not to have students and staff in schools as voting, as we prefer not to have students and staff in schools as voting occurs. Finally, the last day of school will now be Friday, June 20th, and graduation will still be on Monday, June 23rd, but I am happy to announce will now be at 10 a.m. at Jersey Mike's Arena. That is it for my administrative report this evening.
Thank you. At this time, we will jump to our student reports. Good evening.
Hello. So to start off for March, we had the North Brunswick Township High School held the 40th annual Rockathon, which is where you bring in a bunch of rocking chairs, stay 24 hours overnight in the high school. You can bring foods. People bring like PCs, video games. Some people stay up all night for 24 hours. I could never personally. I use my 3 hours of rest time. We had 70 participants, and we raised over $11,000 for Hugs for Brady, the North Brunswick Food Bank, and Raiders Home Plate. On March 5th, SGO hosted the annual Student First Staff basketball game. Some people didn't like some calls that were made, but overall, it was a well-played game. And the teachers continued their winning streak. I'm pretty sure the record is like 50-2 or something like that. Like, they have a really big winning streak. On Friday, March 7th, Painted Words held Coffee House, which is basically where you come into the Commons, you sit, you drink coffee, tea, hot chocolate, and all the people from Painted Words Club, they share poems, they share music, play guitar, and it's just a great time and experience. And then Mr. MBTHS was held on Friday, March 14th. There was some interesting acts this year. Andrew Solover solved a Rubik's Cube while telling dad jokes. Timmy Dictano cut one of his friend's hair, which was definitely an interesting talent. And then Scott Cohen was obviously amazing. Scott Cohen always performs well, sang a great song, and it was basically unanimous that he was going to win. And he won $100 towards his tux for prom. He can use it this year or next year, but he's probably going to win next year, hoping for him.
And then on Friday, March 21st, the class of 2026 held a very successful pocketbook bingo and gift basket auction. We raised $27,000 for our class, which will be used for prom this year and next year's senior barbecue and everything like that. And this is a record for MTHS. And we just want to say thank you to all of the parents and volunteers that helped. I was there. I can say it was a very exhausting night for the volunteers, so we were so grateful to all the parents that helped make this a very successful event, and obviously our advisor, Ms. Roshkovan. The new members of NHS were inducted last night, Tuesday, March 25th. We had 66 new members. It was a very well done event, or induction ceremony, and yeah. And then the members of MBTHS Key Club and NHS and National Honor Society were incredibly helpful during our parent-teacher conferences. They served as door knockers and gave directions to parents in the building, because, you know, MBTHS, it's very difficult to navigate when you don't know where you're going. So they were very, very helpful. And finally, we have a couple of exciting cultural events coming up. So May 2nd, the Latin American Club is hosting Somos Uno. And May 9th, the South Asian Cultural Association is hosting their annual event, Innovation. Tickets for both events will be going on sale after spring break, so be ready. And that's it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. A lot of stuff going on, per usual. All right, we will move to our committee reports. We'll start this evening with Mr. Carter, Business Ops. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam President. The Business Operations Committee met on Wednesday, March 19th. On the agenda this evening, you will find the following items: a motion to approve the acceptance of a grant from the USDA to purchase an oven for Judd School in Finance Section 3D, a motion to approve the purchase of a security vehicle in Finance Section 3G, and a resolution to sell bonds for the referendum that passed earlier this month in Finance Section 3H. Finally, we received status updates on the Linwood chiller, which will be fired up next month. Middle school leak forensics, potential cost of $150,000 in the FY26 budget. Livingston Park paving and traffic flow bid date opening on April 2nd. Parsons Courtyard and concrete repair scheduled for June 20th. ECC Courtyard drainage repair scheduled for spring break. MBTHS MRC cubicle installation and auxiliary gym floor repainting scheduled for June. District-wide HVAC control upgrades are ongoing, and lead water retesting scheduled for the end of March.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Carter. At this time, we'll jump to Mr. Ali, Education. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam President. The Education Committee met on March 19th at 6 p.m. And for the areas of assessment and grants, we have completed our NJGPA testing and our access for ELLs. That will conclude on March 28th. We will be moving to approve amendments to a few of our state and federal grants. And we have also submitted our ESS-ER performance reports for the 23-24 school year. Additionally, we've had 2 school assemblies at Linwood, and many of our math and ESL teachers will be attending professional learning workshops to stay up to current with the trends. And in areas curriculum technology, we currently have 42 students who are attending historically black college and universities, also known as HBCU College Tour, where they'll be visiting North Carolina A&T, or North Carolina Agriculture and Technical State University. It's at Greensboro, North Carolina, and there's going to be a few other visits at the HBCUs in that area. And some good news, we are one of 13 schools in the state to receive the 2024 Sustainable Jersey grant sponsored by the NJEA, and we're getting $10,000 to purchase kits to support our environmental science courses and the environmental club. We will also be renaming 2 of our elective courses in Linwood to be more aligned with New Jersey technology standards. And we have no updates from Pupil and Personnel Services this week. And additionally, we have received 3 policies for first readings. Policy 5533, which is state mandated updates for students smoking in electronic cigarettes, or some people might call them vaping devices. 5111, which provides updates and guidance pertaining to the eligibility of residents and non-resident students. And policy 2365, which touches on the acceptable use of generative AI or artificial intelligence, and we will be making a district-wide AI plan in the coming months. And that's all from my committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Ali. Dr. Patel, Human Resources. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam President. The Human Resources Relations Committee met on Wednesday, March 19th to discuss various personnel topics. For those on tonight's agenda who are retiring or resigning, the board thanks them for their service and wishes them well, especially John Adams, Principal Ann Kingsley, who is retiring from the district at the end of this school year with over 25 years of service to North Brunswick Township Schools. There are new support staff and new substitute staff on tonight's agenda. We welcome all of those new members to our district, and we look forward to working with you here in North Brunswick. As of our committee meeting, any remaining or new vacancies for the 2024-2025 school year continue to be posted and can be found on the district website, social media pages, and posted in each of our buildings. We discuss these vacancies along with upcoming leaves of absences and how those positions may be filled with daily subs, long-term subs, or 6th teaching period. There are a few reassignments and additional stipend roles on tonight's agenda, and we thank our staff for taking on these new assignments. Ms. Kita shared that she is working with our administrators on attending at least 4 remaining virtual job fairs coming up this spring, one of which was last Thursday, March 20th. Current remaining vacancies were posted for potential candidates to consider. For any teaching positions, alternate route and traditional route, candidates are both encouraged to apply. The committee had their second and final reading of policy 9163 on spectator code of conduct for interscholastic events. And that concludes our report.
Great, thank you. Mr. Legori, our liaison for the Township Mayor and Council and Middlesex County School Boards. Anything this evening?
Nothing for this month, Madam President.
Thank you. Anything for negotiations, Ms.
None
Keefe?
at this time, Madam President.
Okay. I think we are all set then. Moving on to item 9. Mr. Wen, would you please take this item?
Sure, Madam President. I would like to make a motion to approve the administrative, student, and committee reports.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All the reports are accepted.
Thank you. At this time, we will review our agenda. The board, as I stated at the beginning of the meeting, receives the agenda prior to our public meeting, so we've had time to review, so we will go quickly by page. Anything that is changed from the last time we've seen it is in bold. So we can start on pages 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, pages 8 and 9, 10 and 11, pages 12 and 13, 14 and 15, 16, wrapping up on 17 and 18. So at this time, we could jump back to page 2. At this time, we will have a public session on agenda items only. If there is anything that the public would like to speak upon from the agenda items, we ask that you come up to the podium, just state your name and sign in. Seeing none, can I please have a motion to close the public portion of the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? This session is closed.
Thank you. Dr. Patel, would you please take item 13 on consent agenda?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve the following consent agenda items: personnel, curriculum, miscellaneous finance items 1 to 3, and policy and transportation.
Second.
I'm going to take roll call. Mr. Ali?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Ms. James?
Yes.
Ms. Keefe?
Yes.
Mr. Legori?
Yes.
Dr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Singh?
Yes.
Ms. Toth?
Yes.
And Mr. Wen.
Yes.
All the motions, resolutions are accepted.
Thank you. And at this time, we can jump to item 14, which is on page 17. At this time, we will have a public session on any matter. If anyone from the public would like to come to the podium and speak, we just ask that you state your name, sign in, and you'll be given 3 minutes.
Jen Herrick, MBTA Vice President. I'd just like to say that now that the referendum has been officially passed, we were very proud to partner with the board on the passing of that, and also to say how extremely proud we are of all of the honorees this evening, who happen to all be MBTA members. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Seeing none, can I please have a motion to close the public portion of the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? This session is closed.
Thank you. At this time, Ms. James, our motion to go into closed session.
Yes, Madam President. Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances. And whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presented exist. Now therefore be it resolved by the North Brunswick Township Board of Education that the public shall be excluded from discussion of and action upon the hereinafter specified subject matters. The general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows: legal matters and personnel matters. It is anticipated at this time that the above stated subject matter shall be made public at such time as the need for non-disclosure no longer exists. This resolution shall take effect immediately.
Thank you. Can we have the motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? We can go in closed session.
Thank you all.
Just texted Mike.
Okay.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, can we have a motion to return to our meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? We are back in open session.
Thank you. Dr. Patel, a motion?
I'd like to make a move to approve the termination of employee 9059 effective March 14, 2025.
Thank you. Can we have a second?
Second.
I'm going to take a roll call on this. Mr. Ali?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Ms. James?
Yes.
Ms. Keefe?
Yes.
Mr. Legori?
Yes.
Dr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Singh?
Yes.
Ms. Toth?
Yes.
And Mr. Wen?
Yes.
The motion is approved.
Thank you. And at this time, can we please have a motion to adjourn our meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? We're adjourned.
Thank you all.
Very nice, guys.